Hi folks, welcome to part 2 of where I discuss various topics and you try to keep it civil in the comments below. I threw you a softball last time. This time I'm going to come in with a little bit more fast pitches here. I want to talk about a little bit about the new Disney Star Wars and them taking stuff from the old expanded universe. This is a question I get quite often when we hear about the newest movie and the newest stuff that it's pulling from the books. As you know, Episode 7 seemed to take several pages out of the expanded universe, as did Rogue One. And now with the new Han Solo movie coming out, starring that one character who I forgot from the expanded universe, Shriek. Anyway, I just thought I'd say a few words about what I think about that. Now, remember what I've always said, folks. Disney owns Star Wars. They can do whatever they want with it. So if Lucasfilm wants to just go back through and just pick through all these books here and pick out little characters or storylines they've already used, that's their prerogative. They can do that. And some people are saying, well, that's unfair. You said you needed to be creative. Folks, they don't need to be creative. This is all their creativity. This is all the creativity they will ever need for the next 30 years. Now, I argue that if you want to keep creativity alive, you should continue the legend stories. That way you'll be able to mine even more stories out from it. I mean, it's a positive thing there. But I don't know if we should be getting too upset by how much they're ripping off these characters. I mean, yeah, Thrawn isn't the same. Yeah, some of the other characters, Quinlan Vos, even John Ostrander said he's changed. So those characters aren't the same. Now they're the same in name and face, but their background's a little different, or maybe their behavior's a little different. Either way, I don't hear that many complaints by the new fans about it, either because they never knew they were from the expanded universe, or they don't really care. A lot of you are like, hey, look, I'm just happy to see my favorite characters. And they do resemble, you know, some of what they were in the old one. And yeah, the storyline has had to change and whatnot. Even though a buddy of mine was telling me about Rebels, it was kind of frustrating how Thrawn always let them get away. Why? He could crush them at any time to study them more, and it just didn't make sense, which was a very good point. I don't know why Thrawn would do that either. If they're weak and he's got them, why play with them? He didn't play around with them in the Heir to the Empire trilogy. But I think this is Disney's plan, to take these pieces from the expanded universe and reintroduce them to the audience for most of them the first time, because they didn't read the expanded universe. You know, they just didn't care about the books. Well, now they love the books. They just don't realize they love them. They love all the storylines that came from the expanded universe, the characters, the situations. You know, a lot of this has been done, like Finn leaving the Empire or whatever they're called in the new movie. You know, yeah, that's nice. Wait till you read about Baron Sutter Fail. It's much better. That's some of the stuff, though, and I've given several examples, and other people have given examples. In fact, it's kind of widely known that, you know, they're grabbing stuff from the EU. Look at a bunch of little fan articles right now. Everyone's trying to guess what expanded universe character or events will be depicted in Episode 8. They're already saying that. I see those articles everywhere now. Because people realize, yeah, this is where they're pulling all their information from. This is where their creativity is coming from. Now, whether you think that's a good or bad thing, that's based on perspective. Some of you are like, yeah, Matt, that's why I watch the new stuff. I like seeing that. Or some people are like, that's why I don't want to watch. I don't want to see him get butchered like that. Yeah, and we have difference of opinions, but as I said, you know, that's just what they are. It's just opinions. Like, I fall into the opinion that this is best. And I know I've said this before, but the expanded universe always trumped the movies for me. I just love the books and comic books way more than the movies. The movies were a nice base, but it was this library back here that really made me the big Star Wars fan. So for them to just kind of, you know, give us the same, you know, basically just give us reheated, you know, leftovers, to me, I'm not that interested. Now you say, well, Matt, I don't see it like reheated leftovers. I see it as just really nice and just creative to take these characters and reimagine them this way. That's fine. Like, again, I said, that's just a difference of opinion. But I don't think that it's wrong for Disney to just dig through, you know, their whole library of good stuff here, because, hey, it's great stuff. The expanded universe, and they're acknowledging that. I even said that in one of my past videos. They're basically, and it's actually compliments to the expanded universe. Like, yeah, you guys had the best stories. That's why we want to do them. But we want to do them our way. And as you know, the movie is never better than the book. Ever. So what do you think about this? What side do you fall under? And as always, thanks for being civil.